Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I'm going to be doing my first week of the Past Lives Club Past Life Reading. So as you know, if you have been here for, a little bit of time at least on my channel, in the month of September, which today is September 1st, I am doing a Past Lives Club community reading kind of thing. Okay, it is in conjunction with my Facebook group, Divination and Spirituality. And so I did end up creating a PDF version, a digital journal. It's a Past Lives Club digital companion or digital journal. I can't remember what I named it. Past Lives Club Companion. There you go. So this comes with several different pages. This is linkable, or it is all linked. So we have like archetypes. So it takes you to the archetypes. This little mandala, not on this page because this is the main page, but this mandala on all the other pages takes you back to the home page. So you can either go like this and scroll through each category, or you can use the links. Now, in order for that to work, if you're, I cannot attest for how other systems work, but if you're using GoodNotes, then you have to be in like link mode. And when you're editing, you have to be in edit mode. Okay, so in order for the links to work, you have to be in link mode. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it is copyable. So once we start filling out our journal, and if you want to, you can print this off. If you want to, it's PDF, or you can do it on your computer because it's PDF, and the links will still work on your computer because it's PDF. It will work on your laptop. It is PDF. Okay. I just know it well in GoodNotes, but it is PDF. So whatever PDF will handle, and the linkable and editable, so where you can draw in it, put pictures in it or whatever, it's workable. So each one of these categories is linkable. And then after that, I've created a blank page if you want to go further. However, once you're in edit mode, if I wanted to add another page, all I have to do is go to, up in the right-hand corner, you'll see a page with a plus in it. Just go page. And then I have it put for after, and then click on the current template design, and bam. All under the same category, archetype. Let me put it back into linkable mode. It doesn't mess with the linking or anything, so I can go to identity, and it goes to identity, although we already added another page. So that's pretty much how that works, okay? I've left it pretty open so that you can actually use this however you see fit. And the beautiful thing about this is, once you know your first life, this is copyable. It is a copyable thing. So let me show you. Let me go back into my folders like this. So you see how I have it right here. There's a little drop down. So I can duplicate. It creates another one, right? So if I want to, I can rename it like such and such past life, or such and such past life. So like when you know, and I suggest making a copy before you've got all of the stuff in it, before it's all filled out. And then you can just click down, because this says copy of past lives. So I would just hit the drop down, and you can click on that and change the name of it. So you can use this indefinitely and easily keep all of your different lives separate so that you're working through them. So this is the one that I'm working in. So these are the areas I'm going to touch base on, and I'm going to be doing it in this the whole month and showing you my process each week. Now, if you go to the Divination and Spirituality Facebook group, there is already set up guides in the group for you to be able to follow along if you're not using this, okay? If you're not using the planner, there's already guides for you. And after you complete each one, you can hit done if you want. There's also a Facebook chat group, Past Lives Club chat, that's also stemmed off of the Divination and Spirituality group for people that are doing this. So along the lines, you know, if you want to share or get people's opinions or thoughts on what you're dealing with, I think it's wonderful. Having a support group for doing this kind of work is really, really good. And I suggested in the group, buddying up with other people that you see that are doing it. There's lots of people that are doing it, that are doing this Past Life Club with me this month. So maybe team up with one of them and you guys can get together and do FaceTime videos, like through Messenger if you want, or whatever your media of choice is, and you can do it together. I found great, not just support, but just having like further ideas explored, having the other ladies as a as somebody that is also seeing different things in the cards can actually help you explore or expand on your readings itself, if you choose to go that route. You don't have to, but if you choose to, see in the group if there's somebody that would like to buddy up with you, because it's a wonderful experience. And it's a way of connecting with other people in the community that you may never have had personal interaction with outside of just commenting on videos. That's another reason why I wanted to do this, because it is a community activity. But there's still private things within it that you share with other people if you choose to. You can choose to share nothing or as much as you want, right? So I'm going to do hashtag Past Lives Club, maybe first week, second week, third week, fourth week, or just Past Lives Club period, hashtag. If you would like to also share on your channel, that would be awesome. I think that this is really a very good, and I'm having difficulty finding my words, but it's a really good process for kind of like understanding. And for me, it really helped me when I did it the first month in July with the other ladies. Granted, it was much more intense because we worked on 4 lives, or well, 3 of us did, but you can really, it puts things into perspective as to the fact that we are just, this is one experience. This is one expression of the larger self of us. And what we have really discovered about our soul and experiences throughout each life, right? And on the 30th of September, a Monday, I'm also going to be doing, that's when we're doing the, it's a private event. It's not going to be recorded. So unless you're actually in the event, then you're not going to see it. You're not going to be able to join in unless you're able to join in. But we're going to be discussing that. As it is, I think there's like 8 people that have already, because I just put it in today, that are going to this event. So, and then I think it was like 3 more maybes or 5 more maybes, or I don't know at this point, but there's a lot of people that have been invited that were in the group. So we're probably going to, I'm probably going to have to set it up with Zoom. So you can choose to put your face on it or choose to just use your voice and the picture that comes, you know, generically with Zoom. It's up to you. All is welcome, regardless of whether you're showing your face or not. So anywho, let's get on with it, okay? So let me put this aside and I'm going to start pulling my other decks out. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about with the Archetypes deck is that there are different types of archetypes in this particular deck. So we've got the selves, the places, the tools, and the initiations. So it goes into detail about what each one of them are, what it means for each one of them. There's a lot of stuff in the beginning talking about the different types of archetypes versus stereotypes and the origins of them and how there's just tons. I mean, I haven't read this recently. I read this like several years ago. Let me see. So understanding the deck. Okay. So the selves, let me get my glass. So the selves, it says, even if you are totally new to the idea of archetypes, it's likely that you've come across a handful of the concepts behind cards 1 through 30. A yoga teacher might prompt you to embody the warrior. Beyonce might stir in you a feeling of the queen. And maybe, just maybe, on the late night dance floor, you let the animal run wild for a song or two. These cards represent the many sides of the self that are either awakened or asleep within us. Since they are archetypal, we all have all of them within us. They may not be embodied or emboldened, but they are there. Remember, these are universal forces. There's no getting away from their energy. Repression won't work. Denial will only complicate things. The goal here is to use the cards to awaken the full range of archetypal selves, giving light, space, curiosity, and acceptance to the ones that need it most. At the same time, we don't want any particular one to dominate or run the show. The more that we can engage with the multiple selves within, the more that we can live a fluid and adaptive life. Each of these archetypes has a time, a place, and a precise, potent energy that we will need someday. So I don't have to read all of these, but let me just say, so the selves, the places, the tools, and the initiations. If you wanted to, literally, and this is what I think I'm going to end up doing, is doing 4 different archetype readings for this particular lifetime. I think I'm going to do one from each category. So what about myself was the main archetype? And listen, you don't have to do the archetypes if you don't want to at all. I, for one, feel like or believe that there are possibly like archetypal reasons or important aspects for any life that we are living. So when we're making the blueprint, archetypally, and I can't even say that right, most importantly, we want to embody like a certain type of self or learn a certain thing. So we have different archetypes for a lifetime. This is just how I see it. So if you don't agree with that, then skip it altogether, okay? But so I thought that the selves, one for the self, so one for like my personality, or it could be any number of things. We'll see when we draw it. Then the next set is the place. So it could be talking about, why did I choose particularly that time to incarnate? What was the place like? What kind of lessons could I have learned from being incarnated at that time and at that place, right? The tools. What were the things maybe that I had set for myself that I wanted to learn or that I had at my disposal? So if you're thinking about like, looking at, for instance, in astrology, we have the North Node and the South Node. So the life that we had before that is the South Node. So those are the tools or the resources that we come in with in the new lifetime or in this lifetime that we had kind of perfected or at least lived in that energy for that lifetime. So we are more skilled at that. So if your North Node was in your South Node, if your South Node was in, let's say, like mine, which was the second house, and mine was in Leo, then I was very confident in my ability to make money. I was probably the breadwinner at that time period. And that's probably why I've had to deal with somebody else making more of the money in this lifetime, because it is really difficult. I want to be the one in my family that makes the money, but it just has not worked out that way. I mean, especially being a woman, right? And I don't want to use that as a complete excuse or anything like that, but once you have children, it is expected of you to be the one, even if you are working. If the child is sick, if you've got to call off of work because your child is at home, if something falls through with your daycare, and it's usually the woman, not always, but it's usually the woman that has to take time off of work. Okay, so the man, and there's men that have to suffer with this too, because they're expected that their counterpart is going to take care of it, so they don't get to spend as much time with their family, and their longer hours are expected of them because of this, right? Hopefully we're moving out of that, but nonetheless, that is the way that it goes, or has gone. And maybe that depends on where you live also, but once you have children, and women who have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anywho, so the tools that we come into in that life that we had, or that we were working towards, how that archetype of those tools could have helped us in that lifetime. And then initiations. So I do want to read what this one says. The initiation cards are similar to trump cards or the major arcana in the tarot. They represent the big moments, junctures, and situations in life that carry major significance along our journey. Archetypally speaking, initiations are events that change us on a fundamental level. Okay, I don't have to read anymore. So I want to do, for me personally, I'm going to separate the deck, and I'm going to do it 4 times. I'm going to shuffle it 4 times. So I'm going to choose one of the selves, one of the places, one of the tools, and one of the initiations. So let's get started. Okay, so I have split these up. This pile is the selves, this is the places, this is the tools, and this is the initiations. So let's do the selves first. I'm only going to do 1 card. I'm going to sound clear, all of these. You can knock on the deck. You can clear with your energy, your own personal energy. You can get selenite. You can do however you want. So I want to understand each of these different categories of archetypes for a life. I want this life to be one that is still affecting this life, please. And I ask for only the information that is going to help me work through any of my issues in this life. Okay, I'm only going to take the top one. The crone. So that was an archetype. So I'm going to put that on that pile. Now the place. The bardo, whatever that is, we shall see. Now the tools, tools. I'm only going to take the top one. The mask, interesting. And now this is the initiations. It's always harder when there's less cards. Anima Mundi. All right. So I'm going to mark all those down, and I'm going to take pictures for my particular, now see, I don't want this to be super long, but just to show you how this deck works, let's find the crone really quick. Okay. What page is it on? '87. Okay, let me put my glasses back on. Again, All right, so it says for the crone, the witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of Maiden Mother Crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us, though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre. Awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. So when light, it's magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, and wise. When dark, vindictive, bitter, isolated, ostracized. Go deeper. Dumavati, Hecate, Baba Yaga, and Lilith. How interesting with all of the Hecate stuff for me. So the crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. And on the other side it says, the crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, and the moon. So, wow, that's fascinating. I wonder what the bardo is. Just really quick. Just really quick. You know what? This is not going to be a short video. My apologies, but this kind of work is never short. So if you want to, skim past this and go to seeing, the other aspects, go right ahead. I completely understand. So the bardo, 163. The bardo. So remember, this is the place. The liminal, the in-between, the transition. It is said that the bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all of the things that cause us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are of which we are a single thread. When light, spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. When dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, and transience. Go deeper. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, Lament of the Dead by James Hillman and Sanu Samdazani. It says over here, when the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred. This allows for remarkable healing and vision. And over here it says, this is why I love this deck so much. The bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy by recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust that there is a message for you from beyond who is speaking. Go ahead and listen. I got goosebumps. All right, the mask. I wonder what that tool is all about. Come on, where is it? Okay, the mask is 187. The mask, the persona, the performance, the reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows, the mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You are in the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception, bending time. Trust it. When light reveals what has been suppressed, when dark further conceals what is rejected, go deeper. The masks of James Ensor, Joan Jonas, and Jimmy Durham. And now it says over here, as the Zen koans suggests, meditate on your original face, the one you had before your mother and father were born. Whew. Think of a mask or costume that you wore that felt empowering, marvelous, or fun. Who was it that you were being? Is that who still is within you? Is that who still within you? Whew. And the last one, the Anima Mundi. We know it's going to be towards the back here. All right. So this is the initiation for that lifetime. The soul of the world, all that is. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. When light, tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Go bigger. Alchemical drawings of Anima Mundi, the life and paintings of Hilma F. Clint. A.F. Clint. It says over here, the embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. And over here it says, Anima Mundi is the energy behind the world card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. Oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps. This is really cool. This has already given me so many thoughts about this particular lifetime that I'm going to be delving into. So now we'll move on to the next part. I'm going to keep these out so I can take pictures and put them into my journal. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next part. The first one is going to be the identity. So, you know, let me do it. There we go. I'd actually like to, oops. I'd actually like to clear this deck too really quick. I'm clearing this from all the other readings. Thank you. Please reveal the life that is affecting this life right now. Help me to work through any issues that I might have that are related to this life, but in a helpful manner, okay? Help guide me through this process, please. I'm asking this of my higher self. reveal everything that I need to know and nothing more in order to help me through this process. I don't want it to get convoluted. So what was my identity in this life that we're talking about? Okay, so my identity was boop, 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 sibling. Sibling. So now we're going to turn this over so that I can get one of these for further information, further details about that sibling, that life. More there we go. Working class. Okay, so that's what was up. So that's the identity. This is, remember, this is only the initial part of it because I'm going to be going further with each category. The identity, time frame, where it was, location, which the next one is time frame, I believe. Okay, so what was the time frame? Okay, Viking age. Okay. What else do I need to know about that time frame? What else do I need to know about that time frame? A little bit more detail about that time frame, please. A little bit more detail about commune. Okay. Now we're going to do the location. Remember, just because it was the Viking age doesn't mean it was Viking. That's going to be also dependent upon the location. That's going to give us an idea and our identity, right? So, show me the location, please, of that particular life during that Viking age and in that commune that I was the sibling. What was the location, please? So the location was, oh, underground civilization. Okay. What more information? I mean, that kind of matches up with, if you think about it, that kind of matches up with the witch and the bardo, right? And the unseen and the in-between. Underground civilization. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit more information and about that location, please. Camorra. Secret society. Camorra. I have no idea what that is. We will find out though. Now, the next thing is, what was my faith in that lifetime? So because I use this for the actual beginning, this side, I always put it as my back. So the first part of it. The second part of the question is when I ask for more detail. So this is the back because it's on these cards. So what was the faith? What was the faith in that lifetime? What was the faith in that lifetime? What was the faith in that lifetime? This lifetime. What kind of faith or religion did I have in that lifetime? Sometimes it goes like that, right? Maybe it's not in this deck. Okay, there we go. Faith. Magic paste. And I was a witch, right? Oh my God. Okay. What else? More details, please, about that particular faith in that lifetime, please. Okay. Oh, I was an easy target. Oh, of a bully. Wow. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is love. So, what was my love or main love in that lifetime? What did my love life look like in that life? What did my love life look like in that time? Come on. Okay, here we go. Oh, I was promiscuous. Okay, promiscuous love. I was promiscuous, or the person that I was with was promiscuous. That, the more you end up doing, it will reveal. I mean, I could have been in, like, where there are no partners. Who knows? Right? It's a different kind of community already. Okay, so a little bit more clarity on that, please. A little more clarity on that love in that life, please. A little more clarity. A little more detail. I don't know if it's clarity or detail. Okay, we're going to do the top one. Oh, that's all there was. Perpetrator. Oh. So I'm wondering if... Oh. I don't know. I want to save my judgment after I see the whole picture, and even read out of here, but all right. So the next one is, what is the next one? Trauma. Yeah, what was the trauma in that life? You know, let me take a drink really quick. It's chilly down here. What was the trauma in that lifetime for me? What was the trauma? And at this point, I still don't know whether or not I was a male or a female either. So that is also something that I'm going to ask. What was the trauma? Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to take the top card. The trauma was, betrayal. I mean, that makes sense for being an easy target of a bully over here too, right? And I don't know about this Camorra yet with Secret Society. So, betrayal. Can I get a little more clarity and or details on that trauma, please? A little bit more details or clarity on that trauma, please. You see why this deck is so incredibly good? Yes, you absolutely can use another deck for past life readings. However, this particular deck was designed by somebody that specifically made it for past life stuff, right? So much time and effort. Can you see when into this? And you haven't even seen the book yet. Unless, of course, you have this deck also and know what a gem it is. A little more clarity and detail on that traumatic betrayal, please. Okay, we're going to put it here. Sexual minority. Alternative sexuality. Okay. I'm already starting to see a picture. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So my next one is, how did I die in that lifetime? How did I die in that lifetime? How did I die in that lifetime? All right, old age. I died of old age. Okay. Okay. So, a little more detail and clarity on my death, please. A little more clarity and detail on my death, please. A little more clarity. Oh, there it is. Okay. Destroyer destruction. Okay. The last one is lesson. So what was the lesson in that lifetime? What was my lesson in that lifetime? What was my lesson in that lifetime? What was my lesson in that lifetime? Take the top one. Passive conformity. Oh, passive conformity. Interesting. Give me a little bit more detail on that passive conformity lesson, please. A little more detail. A little more detail and clarity on that passive conformity lesson. Oh, that wanted to flip. A little more detail. There it is. Post-life review under astral experiences. All right. So, let's look at these now. As I said, this is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, working class. Yeah. Under city dweller. Okay. So I was a sibling, right? I still, like I said, once I get into the actual identity part, this is like the main part. And then we get in further detail with the tarot readings in each category. So this is pretty much, I don't really need to know anything more there. As far as the next one, Viking Age, let's see what it says for, where's the time frame? Viking Age, I'm guessing is around like 800 to 1,000 years. Okay, let's see. The Viking Age occurred between approximately 793 and 1066. During this period, Scandinavians started to migrate and settle in Ireland, Britain, Wales, Norway, Sweden, and the Netherlands, Scotland, Russia, Iceland, and Greenland. During this time, Christians attempted to Christianize Europe, and Christianity replaced the Norse pagan religion. So that's all it says there. So we have a window of time between like almost 800 AD to 1066 AD, which is when, what was it, John the Conqueror came through and united like all of England, right? And I can track my family name to 1066. Okay, so the next one is underground civilization location. So let's see what that says for that. Where's the location? Here we go. The dogs are not being agreeable today. I hear another dog. So underground civilization. You may have lived in a location underground or deep in a cave, such as Darankuyu, Nowers, Shambhala, if it exists, or the Hollow Earth, if it exists. Or you might have lived in a civilization currently buried underground. Interesting. And I'm interested about this, so I'm going to find the secret society. Oh, I forgot to do group living. Let me find that, group living. So you find the card. And mine was commune. In a past life, you may have been a member of a commune, collective, or self-contained community. In such a community, you might have insulated yourself from negativity in the world. Alternatively, your living situation may have allowed you to feel less reliant on societal institutions or governmental control. Okay. That kind of makes sense also with the secret society and underground civilization. So let's find the secret society card. There we go. And let's find this Canberra or Camorra. In a previous life, you may have been part of a crime society like the Camorra Mafia, Ku Klux Klan, or another group that encouraged underground criminal activity or attacks upon individuals based on social standing, race, or other differences. Ooh, my God, that does not sound good. But, I mean, maybe that also falls in line with this passive conformity, especially if I was born into it and didn't know anything different, because that was my lesson, right? Just going with it instead of, you know, doing the right thing kind of thing. So magic-based, easy target, bully. Yeah, that seems pretty easy for my faith. I mean, I'll explore it further, but perpetrator, so injustice. So for my love life, I was promiscuous. Let's find that. Where is it? There we go. You may have been promiscuous in a past life. You may have indiscriminately had sex with many partners. For some, this could indicate that you suffered from STDs or love, romance, or sex addiction. Well, that's not good. That's not good. All right, so, but perpetrator, injustice. I mean, that kind of falls in line with being part of this over here, too. Maybe I used my magic really badly. Oh, what is it? Injustice. Come on. And perpetrator. In a previous life, some questionable action you took may have unjustly upset a person's life or their sense of security or reputation. Right. But this has to do with promiscuous, so I might have been some kind of, well, it said a sex addict, right? Okay, yeah. Alternative sexuality. My trauma was betrayal. And alternative sexuality, let's see what it says there. In a past life, and this is sexual minority. In a past life, you may have been LGBT or part of another sexual minority. Surrounding cards might indicate whether you were part of a culture that was tolerant and accepting or whether you had to hide who you were. That's what I'm kind of wondering. Because if it was under betrayal, somebody probably betrayed and told my secrets. But we shall see the more I dig into that actual, more detail into that trauma and betrayal. So the next one, I died of old age, destruction, destroyer under the destruction card. So let's see, destruction, destroyer. You may have had a destructive personality in a previous life or were involved in arson, pillaging, demolition, or the defacing of statues or monuments. Alternatively, your destructive nature may have served a more philosophical purpose, such as weaving dissent or seeking the overthrow of a government leader or way of life. Yeah. definitely seeing something here. I'm wondering what my sexuality was, what my identity, whether I was male or female. We shall see. My lesson, passive conformity. I want to see what that means. Like conforming to. No, where is it? Where's my lesson? Okay, here we go. Your lesson might have been to go against the norm, risking others' disapproval. This included letting go of conforming to others' rules or expectations so that you could think for yourself, make your own decisions. Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of thinking. And in a past life review, or post-life review. And what is that under post-life review? Okay, hang on. Damn it. No, I'm sorry. It's under astral experiences. Okay. Okay, post-life review. With one of your past incarnations, there may have been something important that happened to you or something that you were asked to learn shortly after you died. Perhaps you met a significant figure such as Buddha, Jesus, or another famous individual. You may have reviewed your life to see the wisdom that you gained or what you still need to learn. If not a post-life review experience, you may have had a pre-incarnation experience before descending into the physical world. Interesting. Wow, there's a lot to really... I mean, I'm very intrigued about this life. I told you. I told you. These are rarely just like peachy keen lives. These are rarely your... it seems like, you know, I'm not a good person in many of these lives. So... yeah, I know that's a matter of perception, right? But it certainly does not seem like I was a very good person in this life either. So that is my first week. I'm going to mark down all of these. I might even take the pictures of these this time and put them into, seeing as how I'm only focusing on one life this month. But there you have it, guys. I hope that this has helped. If you feel so inclined to share, please share, because I think the more that we see these, the more we are supportive of each other, and the more that we can see how other people do this kind of work, it might enable somebody else to be able to do this kind of work as well. So thank you for spending this time with me. If you're still here, you are a friggin' rock star. Thank you so much, and I am sending you love always.